If you use payroll deductions to help cover your business expenses, you could be creating a much bigger problem than a temporary cash shortage. When you deduct income tax, CPP, and EI from an employee's pay, that money isn't simply extra cash available to run your business. And failing to remit required payroll amounts to the CRA on time can lead to interest, penalties, and potentially serious collection issues. Hi, I'm Everald Melbourne, founder of Melbourne Accounting Solutions. Today, we're talking about one of the most important responsibilities you take on when you hire employees: payroll compliance. Many entrepreneurs think payroll is simply gross pay minus deductions equals the employee's check. But that's only part of the story. Your business also takes on responsibilities to calculate, withhold, report, and remit certain amounts correctly. Imagine your business is going through a difficult month. Customers are paying slowly. Cash is tight, but payroll is due. You process payroll and deduct the required amounts from your employees. Then you look at your bank account and think, I'll use this cash to pay suppliers now and catch up with the CRA next month. It may feel like a temporary solution, but now you've used money associated with payroll obligations to finance your business. Next month arrives, you have another payroll, another remittance, more expenses, and suddenly you're trying to catch up on yesterday's obligations using tomorrow's cash. That's how a temporary cash flow problem can become a payroll tax problem. When you run payroll in Canada, your responsibilities can include withholding amounts such as income tax, employee CPP contributions, employee EI premiums. Your business may also have to contribute the employer portion of CPP and EI, where applicable. Those amounts generally need to be remitted to the CRA according to your assigned remitter type and applicable deadline. And this is important. Not every employer necessarily has the same remittance schedule. Your due dates can depend on factors such as your remitter classification. That's why you need to know your business's specific payroll obligations and deadlines. Why this matters: missing payroll remittances isn't something you want to treat casually. Late or insufficient remittances can result in penalties and interest. Repeated failures can potentially become even more costly, and depending on the circumstances, directors of a corporation can also face personal liability for certain unremitted payroll source deductions. Think about that. You incorporated partly to separate yourself from the business, but certain statutory obligations can still create personal exposure. That's why payroll compliance deserves serious attention. If you've deducted it from an employee's pay, don't treat it like operating cash. Your business should have a system for knowing what was deducted, what the employer owes, when the remittance is due, and whether sufficient cash has been reserved to pay it. Here's a payroll habit I want every employer to develop. Know your payroll liability immediately after every payroll run. Don't wait until the CRA deadline. After payroll is processed, you should understand employee deductions, employer contributions, total amount expected to be remitted, applicable remittance deadline, cash available to satisfy the obligation, and reconcile your payroll records regularly, because payroll mistakes become much harder to fix when they've been accumulating for months. At Melbourne Accounting Solutions, we help businesses manage payroll with proper accounting, reporting, and compliance systems. If you're unsure whether your payroll deductions are being calculated correctly, if you're constantly scrambling to make remittances, or if you're behind with the CRA, don't wait for the problem to become larger. Contact Melbourne Accounting Solutions. Let's review your payroll records, understand your obligations, and help you build a system that keeps your business organized and compliant. Because payroll should be predictable, not a monthly emergency. Here's today's CEO question. If I asked you right now how much your business owes for its next payroll remittance and exactly when it's due, could you answer without calling your bookkeeper? If the answer is no, that's a financial control worth improving. I'm Everald Melbourne, founder of Melbourne Accounting Solutions. Our mission is simple: to help Canadian business owners make smarter financial decisions, reduce unnecessary taxes, and build stronger businesses. If you found this lesson valuable, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss future Canadian business, tax, accounting, and financial insights designed to help you succeed. And if payroll calculations, remittances, or CRA compliance are becoming a burden for your business, contact Melbourne Accounting Solutions. Let's put the right payroll system in place before small mistakes become expensive problems. Helping Canadian business owners learn, grow, prosper. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.